Hi, my name's Danny Fenton and I'm an aeromodeller and an engineer. Join me on a fascinating journey where I show you some of the techniques used in scale aeromodelling.
Well, hello again, modellers. Just a quick little short video to show you what I'm working on at the moment. I'm back from Romania, as you can see, and I'm working on the model that I'm going to use for the British Nationals. Now, it's a model I built in 2009, believe it or not, probably between 2009 and probably 2011 it was maybe finished. But I never flew it. I've not had a lot of luck with Hurricanes, and the two or three that I have had, foamies or ARTFs and stuff, have not been very successful. I suffered quite badly from the tailplane being masked by the flaps, and on landings it usually ended up a bit pear-shaped. So I've been avoiding flying this one because I still loved it. It's a Brian Taylor 70-inch Hurricane Mark 1. I've done it as R4118, which at the time belonged to Peter Vacher. He brought it over from India in a load of boxes, and it was restored by Hawker Restorations in East Anglia. And it was for F4C, but I never got round to competing with it. And Dave Knott has successfully made a beautiful copy of UPW, and it kind of took the edge off it because there's no way I could build one as good as Dave's. But I've decided that it needs to fly. So what I've been doing over the last few days is fettling it and getting it all sorted. So I'm just going to run through what we've got. So it's a Hawker Hurricane Mark 1. The ailerons, elevator obviously, rudder. The retracts have taken quite a lot of work to get working again because the valves that's in the little valve actuator that moves backwards and forwards, there's two O-rings in it, and the two O-rings had got a bit flattened in the 10 years that it's sat on the shelf. So what I've had to do, I got some new O-rings, but they didn't really help. What I had to do was in the little channels in the grooves of the slider, there's two little, probably 1.5, 2 mil wide slots that are about 2 mil deep. What I did was I cut some electrical tape, exactly 2 mil wide, and I just laid 2 layers around the inside of that hole and then put the O-ring back on, and that just pushed the O-ring out far enough that it was nice and tight. The issue is you mustn't make it too tight because the poor little servo's got to move that slider, and there's 2 O-rings in there, and if you make it too tight, although it's great for keeping the air in, the servo can't move it and you melt the servo. And as you can see, it's quite a small servo that's in the top there. So if you watch you might be able to see the undercarriage. I'm not sure how much of it you'll see. Let me turn the model a little bit. Maybe you'll see a bit more. I'm hoping you'll see both legs. I want you to see both undercarriage legs because I've played around with the timing on all of this to get this just how I want it. So hopefully you'll see this. So I'm going to operate the retracts and pull the gear up.
Capacity 9 milliamp-hours.
In this case they've gone up together, but usually when the air's a little bit lower you'll find one goes up well before the other, which is just like the full size. So they're up and they're nicely locked. And then down.
Down.
And they're nice and locked.
Capacity 9 milliamp-hours.
So that's the basic functionality of this. Now it did have 6 A123 cells inside here, 2 6S packs in parallel to give me 4600 milliamp hours. The beauty of A123 cells are, these are lithium ion LIFEs. The beauty of these cells is you can charge in the model, they're perfectly safe, they don't produce oxygen while they combust, so they're perfectly safe. The only problem is that they're over 10 years old now and they're a little bit tired. In fact, I'll show you the cells. These are the 2 packs that were in there, and I made them up, and they're looking a bit sad now. You can see the date I made them was 2016, June 2016. And just because they've not been used, they've gone. The cells have failed, and I could remake them and do them again, but there doesn't seem to be much point. What I've done is I've replaced the two 6S packs with two 5S packs, and these are 2700 milliamp hours, so 5400 5S, and these were 4600 6S, but the voltage is lower per cell of a life pack than they are for LiPo. So I'm similar, sort of 18-ish volts, 18, 21 volts, somewhere around there, depending on the state of charge. So the voltage is about the same, so the performance of the motor is going to be about the same, although it hasn't flown, so I don't know whether it'll be enough, but it should be. So that's where we are at the moment. So I'll put LiPos in it, and we're going to fly on those. They're quite old LiPos, so I'm going to just do a few quick circuits, certainly no more than 4-minute flight. Come down, we'll see what state of charge the batteries are in, how much we've taken out of them in just 4 minutes, and that'll give us an idea of whether or not 2 2700s, i.e. 5400 milliamp hours, is going to be enough, or whether I substitute these two 5S packs 2700s for something like two 4000s or even 3000s might be enough, and we'll see how we go. But these packs are much lighter. There's about a kilo of batteries in those two packs of life cells, and here we've only got about 800 grams. So I've got 200 or 300 grams worth of to play with yet. So the whole model is now 200 or 300 grams lighter. That's going to change the C of G, so I'm going to probably have to add a little bit more lead to the front, and I'm going to try and add it as far forward as I can. Underneath there, there's a shelf. Might put it in there. So that's where we're at the moment. Now, the pièce de résistance of this model, I'm about to show you, just so you get an idea. Now, I've no idea how well this is going to work when we actually fly it, but here we go. And there you can see, hopefully the sound system is going to work well enough that you can hear it above the noise of that motor and prop and everything else. But that's the plan. It hasn't flown, so fingers crossed it survives. It's a lovely model. It really is nice. I'm very proud of it. One of my earlier models that I did a long time ago. The full build is on RCSB, should you want to follow it or look it up. So the next thing to do is the C of G, and just double check it. I'll use the Vanessa rig, as I've shown you a video on how that works, but I'll use the Vanessa rig to set the C of G and get it right. And then we'll refit the prop, charge it all up, and I'll probably go to Buckminster and with a couple of friends, and we'll give it a whirl. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Just a short one, just to give you a quick overview of what I'm up to. Speak soon.